I spoke to Victoria as she left your party, and you know what she said to me? She went, I'm going to go listen to your podcast when I get home. I said, all right. And she went, yeah, I'll come on it. And I went, we don't have guests.
There's no guests on it.
We don't have guests, Victoria. And you know what she was...
You can send a question in.
But she said,
We might
she
have to
said,
put it in the
because I always think she's really funny. She went, well, I'll come on as a friend then. I went, yeah, you can come on as a friend. She's really funny, isn't she?
Bless her.
Unlikely friends, but friends to the end.
Hello, welcome to Unlikely Friends, a small unit of friends that have been friends for 20 years, and we discuss things that you tell us to discuss by sending us topics and questions to unlikelypodfriends@global.com or follow us on the socials, Unlikely Podfriends. Hello, my name is Leigh Francis. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Jade Jones.
Hey, ladies.
Hi, I'm Emma Bunton.
And I'm Jill Francis.
Yay! Boink. How's it going? Boink.
All right. So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Calm down, right? It's a bit of like a...
Hold on. I
Why?
felt like because it was my 50th.
Yes!
Someone
Yeah,
on...
I did feel like I came crashing down with a bang when I was doing the school run yesterday. And then I had a dentist appointment this morning. I mean, how lovely. But no, I had the best week. I had the best week. So thank you to everybody. Honestly, all of you, my mum, everybody just made such an effort and messages, and it was amazing.
How do you feel now? Because it's over.
I'm knackered, man. I'm fucking knackered.
Were you a bit
I
stressed?
feel drained. And she's even saying, it's not over yet. I'm celebrating the whole year. It's more. Jesus.
Well, someone online
feel
said
for
to me, well, not to me, commented on one of the posts, how long does Emma Bunton's birthday go on for? And I did reply, I said, well, because it's a big one, I said she's got to celebrate all year.
Yeah.
Well,
you
listen-
lot told me.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
I thought it was
100%.
just a day, but you were like,
Listen, even your normal birthdays, we go for at least a
Yeah.
week. So
Yeah,
as it's
we
your
do.
50th, we got to go even longer.
Yeah.
I think
Spreading it out.
you've definitely got to do it for a year.
Yeah.
Definitely for your 50th.
But I think for your 50th as well, I just had such a brilliant time. I did so many different things. Like the first thing I did, my brother, bless him, he did a little surprise roller skating party for me, just with like family, and it was so nice. So I went roller skating, and my friends bought me pink roller skates. It was the best. Then I did a sound bath with my gorgeous friend here and my mum and Tate, and it was just that was amazing.
that was really lovely.
I've never
It
done
doesn't
that
work
before.
on a podcast, but if you're watching it on YouTube, we have some visuals of the roller skating. Remember?
Do you?
I'll give you that. Because we filmed that little
Oh,
clip, didn't we?
yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, we need to put that up.
Yeah.
And then Jade surprised me, and we went and did some pottery, didn't we?
That was sexy.
That was hysterical.
Did you
Jade
say
went,
that was sexy?
Yes.
Oh.
We was
quite
reenacting the
sexy.
ghost scene. Tried to anyway.
Jade
but the
said,
woman
"Shall I
wouldn't-
take my top
She
off?"
wouldn't
I
let me
said,
take my
"No."
top off.
Did you feel he's happy on your back?
It's a bit inappropriate, right? If we had our own studio, maybe, but no.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. But we went in there thinking, we're going to make well, let's make bowls for pasta or for soup, or for our cereal. I'm not even joking. We left that pottery class with maybe something that kind of resembled a very small pot.
Yeah, not
But
even.
you're not going to get anything in.
/ Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yours
Not even as good as the Yorkshire
yours
pudding.
could have been a pot. Mine was just a cylinder because I put my finger too far down. I ended up taking the bottom out of it.
Yeah.
So it was just the tube, basically.
But it was great fun. And then I had my lovely little party down Cotswolds with just
Lovely.
lovely people full of joy. And I had a really special
Do you know what was
night.
great about that night? There was so much love in the room, with everybody. It was lovely that so many people came to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
But everybody got on so well. It
Yeah.
was just such a beautiful.
Yeah.
It just.
I mean, it
felt
was
so
small.
lovely.
It was only like,
It wasn't. It was the perfect size.
Yeah.
I felt. I didn't
Perfect.
go in and go, small.
No.
Felt like the right
but
size.
I mean, as in because I couldn't actually, I wasn't allowed to have more than the certain
but
amount
it
of
still
people
felt
in that
for
room.
the room
but it
size,
was
so the
nice.
amount of people.
Yeah.
And
it was just so
it was
good.
quite grown up as well, like sitting down having a dinner.
I know.
Very
Normally it's just like
civilised,
straight in
very
party
civilised.
vibes, right? But it was nice having
Very
dinner
different
first.
from my 30th, guys, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a rowdy one.
That was a rowdy one. I moved on a
Can
bit.
I just say how lovely it was to see Louis Spence, because I felt like I'd not seen him for a long time. I had a lovely chat with him.
I love that man.
And I love
so
watching
much.
him dancing, because when he's dancing, he kind of holds back. doesn't he? He's a bit shy.
Yeah.
He got on the floor and everything, didn't he?
I know,
He's having his best time.
He can do the splits. He can still flip all over
I
the
know.
place. He can bend in half.
It's flexible, that
Well, he
man.
hasn't aged, has he? He's
No.
like
I
made
don't
out
think
of rubber.
he's aged at all, no.
And he's just hilarious.
He is.
He's fun.
Honestly, when I barely laugh with him.
Yeah.
And he's been my friend for so many years, and he's just a constant. I said that to him. He's just like a constant.
Is he on that, he's on
friend.
that picture?
Oh, there he is, yeah.
Of course he is.
Oh, he's got
yes.
hair there.
There he is, right in the
And he's
middle.
got a scooped up T-shirt that would
Yeah.
rival Marvin Humes from JLS back in the day, haven't he?
Yeah.
Marvin Humes didn't go that low, and he was the lowest of the scoop tops.
That's a good
He was,
cleavage.
remember?
That's a good cleavage.
JLS liked a scoop top T-shirt. I remember back in the day.
Love Louis.
Yeah, but it was just magical.
Oh, and our friend Elliot made a surprise
Oh my
appearance.
God,
Yes.
Elliot came all the way from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my! Well, I was in shock. My mum cried.
Oh.
It was a really special moment coming all the way from Hong Kong.
You've been friends a long time. How long were you friends for? Because we know Elliot through you guys. so how long have you been friends?
Like, what, about 30 years?
Yeah.
Maybe, or more?
And I
Yeah.
nearly told you that it was coming, didn't I, by accident?
Big
I
mouth.
know.
Seriously.
I
You can't tell
know.
Lee anything.
No, in my defence, I didn't tell you because I was just joking when he said, oh, I'm going to try and make it. And I was saying to you, he's going to
Yeah.
try. Well, just come then. It's easy, just come.
I know, when you were saying that, I was going, oh,
But I didn't know he was coming then.
I know,
I didn't know he was coming then.
No, when he wasn't.
I know,
he was,
but
he was
I
trying.
didn't even think about it until then.
But I did. No, you sent him an invite, didn't you?
Yeah, but I thought there's no way he's going to come from Hong
Yeah,
Kong.
yeah.
I just didn't even think
Well, I
about
didn't
it.
think he was going to come. That's
Then-
why I said that.
But you guys weren't there, so when we was you at the lunch when we got up there to the
No,
you
but
weren't there.
you showed me the
to
video, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So he came in and surprised Emma. So we sit
Yeah.
down having lunch, and he just walked in and surprised her. It was so sweet because you burst into tears.
Yeah.
Your mum burst into tears. I was crying.
Yeah.
The kids were just in shock. It was just like
So
it
who
was
knew?
so beautiful.
Who knew he was coming over then?
Me, I was the only one. I didn't tell anyone. I thought I'm not going to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Especially Lee.
Especially not Lee.
I would have kept it a secret.
Yeah, of course you would.
You have to literally say to Lee though, don't say anything,
Yeah.
but and then tell him.
And you
Yeah.
know what? I asked him a question I've always wanted to ask him. It's a bit in the same vein as Friends and Chandler. I said, what do you do for a living? And he still couldn't tell me what he did.
Is
He
Yeah.
is like Friends. He is
is.
like
What's it
Chandler
Called?
from
It's-
Friends. Yeah.
Events.
He's a what do they say about?
He does
No, what do they say?
It's a trans
he's a
monster.
trans monster. Trans monster.
a transformer?
Transponster.
What's a trans? Say it again.
Don't know.
Trans.
Transponster.
Transponster.
That's what
Yeah.
Chandler does.
What is it then?
We don't
No,
know.
we
that's
don't
what
know
Chandler
what
does.
Yes.
I still don't know what he
Elliot
does.
does events.
Yeah, he
In
said
Hong Kong
events.
for a
I went,
private,
what sort?
Events
members
company.
club.
So what does he do? What does he do? Does what go? Oh, you want to book Chesney Hawks? Yeah, I've got his number. Yeah, we can get you Chesney Hawks.
He does a proper job, not a job like us, idiots.
Yeah.
He does a proper job.
But do you know what he does?
No, it's a proper job. No one does.
He's got a grown-up job.
Yeah. Yeah, bless him.
So
But
it was
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it was.
And thank you to Jerry for doing the most
Amazing speech.
amazing speech.
Yeah, it
Brilliant.
was. It was good.
Honoured. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah, it was.
I
she
told
hit the
her.
button, didn't
I
she?
told her. I said
Good.
you should do like public speaking. I did, and she
was
was like,
very good.
Really?
And she
I
just
go,
covered,
"Yeah,
but
that's
covering
good."
every single base
Yeah.
and topic and done, but delivered so
Yeah.
lovely. It
The
was
right
so much
amount of
energy
humour, I
and-
thought.
Yeah.
Right amount of humour, but still being
Yeah.
lovely as well.
It was lovely. It was
was good.
lovely.
It
So
was
thank
amazing.
you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Is that the
Happy
end now?
birthday.
Well,
Done.
it's my birthday soon, so can we move on
I
now,
know,
please?
Well, there just has to be a pause. Pause when it's somebody
Okay.
else's birthday. Then you've got
Then
to
back to me.
resume the 50th for the rest of the year.
A pause for my birthday. Just a slight pause,
Pause
for
for
Jade's
yours,
birthday.
a pause for mine,
Yeah,
a pause
okay.
for Lee's, and then continue.
Back on it.
But yours
Okay.
is another
Yours
big
is
one.
good. You've got to join
Yes.
me
All
in the
right.
whole year.
Oh yeah, yours is a big one, isn't it?
Same,
Wow.
same as you
I'm
though. What do
60,
you want
I'll
to
be
do?
60.
Don't know. Don't know.
I know. Well, we need to.
Yeah.
No,
My
you're
sister's
not.
friend used to tell people when she was 50, she used to tell them she was 60, so they go, God, you look really good for 60.
Good
That's a good
idea.
idea.
I'm going to say that I'm 60. I'm 60.
They should look amazing.
So look
Jill.
all right for 60.
And now that you have turned, you are now a 50-year-old
Yes.
person. Have you got carefree? Like I said,
Do you know
you're
what? It's the weird. You said this to me, and I thought, "There's no way I'm going to change overnight." I feel like I really have. I feel like I want to do things. I want to go away more. I want to just enjoy life to the fullest. Yeah. And I think sometimes I get a bit nervous and a bit anxious of things. And I'm like, oh, should I do that?
I'm not feeling that anymore.
I'm not saying I don't,
No,
and I never will again. I'm not feeling that.
Yes.
I'm
really
excited.
That's
Like, I've
brilliant.
already planned a few trips.
I know.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Tracy
this
said
year.
that though.
She said to me the other
Tracy
day.
Who's
said-
Tracy?
My Tracy said that when you hit 50, you don't give any fucks anymore, and then you can just live.
She said to me the other day.
Tracy said it to you.
No, not Tracy. My Emma, not your Tracy. My Emma said to me the other day. She's like, I'm thinking about going away, and I went, yeah, do it. She went, I'm going to do it. I'm booking it. And she's booked a little trip already. So
I'm so
well
pleased.
done, you, Bubba.
Yeah, well done.
One of our friends at the party also said to me, Emma, you're so sweet. You always think of everyone. Because, I do worry about and make sure everyone's happy. And I thought, I do. And I like that part of me. But I also want to be a bit more
Selfish.
carefree
Yeah,
and not
Selfish.
not worry about
about
everyone
it,
else
but
so much.
Yeah.
In a
Look after
good
number one.
way. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's the beginning of the year and it's still raining. There's been no sun yet. So I went to the toy fair to cheer myself up. And Jill, I have purchased some toys, even though you couldn't purchase them at the toy fair.
But you nicked them.
I didn't. I saw what I liked and I came home and I bought them online. Thank you, eBay.
Still buying. You need to stop shopping.
I know. It's the first time I've been to a toy fair.
What is a toy fair?
And you know our friend Gavin the elf?
Yes.
That little elf in it.
I call him Cocoa Pops. Gavin.
Oh, because he did the voice for Cocoa Pops,
Yes.
didn't he?
Hey,
Yeah, he's the
He's the
monkey.
voice of
you're
Cocoa
kidding.
Pops.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he invited me, so I went down, and he was busy because he was hosting there, and he was busy doing his links and stuff. He says, "Have a look round, and I'll catch you up." And so I started looking round, and then I wanted to buy a Funko Pop, but I wasn't allowed to. Because it's not for sale,
not
it's
for
just
sale,
for show for shops to come in and go, yeah,
Thank
we'll order
goodness.
1,000 of those
Yeah,
Funko
yeah.
Pops. But first, Funko Pop wouldn't even let me in.
Was it like a sample
How
sale
dare
or
they?
something? They have like a sample
Yeah,
sale.
I'm going to spend some dollar in here. What do you?
Like, no, you're not, because they're just sample sales.
It was like Pretty
Save
Woman.
any money.
I'm going to spend an obscene amount of money on these plastic men.
Big mistake.
Yeah, big mistake.
My wife gave me 50 quid to spend. I'm going to spend every frigging penny.
Well, they wouldn't let me in. And then a lady came up to me and asked for a photograph. And I says, what do you do here then? And she says, I'm a designer for Funko Pop. I says, they wouldn't let me in. She wouldn't come with me. And then I passed the guy that wouldn't let me in. I just passed him and just winked at him.
Yeah, well, like that.
And then he came up to me and he says, oh, what are you looking for? Anything particular? I said, oh, well, my kids like Stranger Things. So where's the Stranger Things sections? Showed me some of the new Stranger Things ones. And then he gave me a goodie bag. And then I met up with Gavin
way.
and bumped into Stephen Mulhern. And I sent him your regards, Jade.
Did you?
I did.
Tell him?
I
I'm a
told
big
him.
fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get his autograph from me?
No, I didn't, but I said you thought he was really funny on TV, and I said, hey, up, what about me? And we played a game because his brother invents games.
Yeah,
wow.
you told me
Yeah, we
this.
played a really fun game called
Well, like board games.
Lingo Bingo, it was called.
I love
and it was-
lingo.
Oh, well, we'll have to play it, not on the podcast.
What's it called? Lingo Bingo?
Lingo Bingo.
As in like the TV show Lingo.
Must
So,
be.
Is it lingo?
here's a question might be something like this: who is the blondest and youngest Spice Girl?
Emma Bunton.
Me.
Yeah, and then you put a little counter over the name
So there's
Emma Bunton
pictures.
on the board.
Is it names or pictures?
It's a grid, a 5x5 grid that's got the answers on. So if it's just said
Okay,
Emma
right.
Bunton,
Right.
it'd be a question. that-
Right.
The answer is Emma Bunton. You put a little point,
right,
and it's
okay.
basically like bingo then.
Yeah.
And you're like this with your little counter, and then you've got to ring a bell.
Oh,
And Mulhern kept telling me the answers,
Brilliant.
and I still lost.
Oh.
But I had
You
a fun
love
time.
board games. You
I
love
love
games.
board games.
Yeah, you'd like it.
You need
You'd
to
like
Yeah.
love
it.
games.
Well, actually, we have got drawers and drawers of board games,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
And I
love
said to
them all.
Mulhern, thanks for sending his message. He sent us a
Yeah.
message what we do on Mondays when we have celebrities.
Yes.
So yeah,
Did he remember?
yeah, he did remember. Yeah, because he was plugging Monty in his show.
Yes.
Where he won't eat anything but chicken nuggets and he won't go in the sea.
Did he talk about it? Did he talk
I
about
forgot
it?
to ask him about it. I was talking about me.
Surprise, surprise.
Shall we talk about someone else? Probably someone who has sent us a topic.
Yes, please.
That has come in the formation of paper and is inside that pineapple vessel.
Go on,
going.
Jill.
Let's do it.
Jill.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Well, Jade Chooks is his birthday next.
Well, no,
Go on.
I'll do it on my
Go on,
birthday.
let you do it.
No, I'll
it's
I'll
the-
assist.
Next
okay.
week's your birthday.
Yeah, next week's my birthday. Yeah, you rustle around.
I'll have a
Jill.
rustle.
Right, what have you got?
Bev from Tyneside, who's our regular listener. She's a regular listener, Bev.
Nice. Hi, Bev.
Said, I love Viva Forever by Spice Girls. I've told my family I want it played at my funeral. Have you picked your funeral songs yet? Ooh,
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Bev, that's quite
That's
dark
grim, isn't it?
question.
It's grim, that. It's a grim one, that one.
Funeral
Blimey.
question.
Bring the mood down, Bev. Cheers, love.
But you know, you can
It's like a
turn...
rainy Monday.
Should we order some toys?
I wore yellow just to brighten things up, but then we're talking about funerals.
Yeah.
Have you picked your funeral song?
Yeah.
What is
you?
it?
Have you?
Is it NXS?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Not a sad one, though.
Is it not? It's got to be
New
something upbeat.
sensation.
Okay.
New sensation.
I want that at my
Right.
funeral. Because, you know, I know it's sad death, but also I think a funeral, you can flip it and go, it's a celebration of their life, isn't
Yes.
it?
100%.
You know?
Yeah,
and that's where you've got to look at it, I think, rather than go,
I want a song from
especially
Grease.
if they've had a long life. It's a celebration of their life. And if it's someone who's gone too quick, then it's horrific. Isn't it?
Horrific, yeah.
I want a song from Grease.
Do you?
We go together like ding-a-ding-a-dong. I want
That's
that.
a good one.
I think you should have an upbeat one,
And
don't
so
you?
as
For
people
my
are coming
birthday?
out of the church, can all do the dance down
Yeah.
thing like when they're going off in the
Yeah,
car?
oh, that's so
It'll be
good.
my coffin going off, flying off.
At my dad's funeral, it was that song from Beaches.
Was Wing Beneath,
Wings,
wind
wind beneath my wings. And every time I hear it, I go,
Bette Midler.
because it's not a cheery song, is it?
Jade, if I go
Yeah.
before Jill, can you nick that song?
You would have a
flying
Spice Girls
coffin.
song, wouldn't you?
Yeah, spice up your life.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
So, but talking, we recently went to Sylvia Young's funeral,
Yes.
who was my teacher growing up. She owned Sylvia Young Theatre School, and she passed. And oh my God, she was the most wonderful woman. But her funeral was a celebration of
It
her,
was,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was pure joy,
It
wasn't
was
it? Yeah.
so beautiful. So many people turned up. There was music. There was performers from the kids still at the school.
Yeah.
It was really. So
nice.
I think you're right. It should, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be.
If
Obviously,
they've lived a life.
If they've lived a long life, it can be such a
Yeah.
gorgeous celebration.
With like West Indian, but Jamaican culture, when there's funerals, it's always about that. It's
Yeah.
always a You always celebrate their life rather than mourn their death.
Yeah.
You have the 9 nights before.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the
Was that a
funeral,
wake?
yeah. And but on the funeral day, there's the burial, and then afterwards it's just a party.
Party.
There's
I think that's
music,
nice
there's
to
food,
celebrate them.
and it's honestly, it's like a rave. It's like going out on a night out.
Yeah.
And you celebrate their life, and that's when people drink and you talk about that person, and you
I
just
rem-
remember the good times with them rather than mourning
the
the sad.
sad.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember going to your dad's funeral, and I
Yeah.
remember there was like food and there was pictures up of him and
Yeah.
it was just and music and everyone was
Everyone
dancing.
dancing,
It was
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a nice way to
It is.
celebrate their life, yeah.
My dad's was horrific, as I remember, but it sort of blacked out in my mind a little bit.
Right.
Because it was a long time ago.
I think it depends on the like religion or culture or the way the family are, depending on, I guess, probably how
Yeah.
it pans out.
I remember just not being able to look up. And I caught a glance at my
Lee.
mates, and I'm kind of glad they were there, though. And also, my mate Pelly didn't phone me at all. And then he said, I just wanted to, well, afterwards, he went, I didn't phone you when your dad died because I didn't want you crying in front of me like a fucking wuss.
Well, you needed that, though.
No,
Yes,
I
you
started
needed
laughing
it.
because
Yeah.
he meant
You
it as a
needed it.
joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And he says, and he said, be embarrassing for you though, wouldn't it? I went, yeah, actually, yeah, it would have. I would have been embarrassed.
But that's your friends knowing you.
That's
Yeah,
funny how
exactly.
Your friends know what to say.
I was
right?
about
Yeah.
to say that is all about growing with someone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing kind of each other, respecting each other, dealing with things differently.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yeah.
that's.
I was listening
learn
to a
that.
podcast the other day, and
What, this one?
Well,
Well, this
you listen
obviously
to another
this one.
podcast.
Listen to this one. No, one of the it was, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was interviewing the other person and they knew each other. They were friends anyway. And he's asking him they were talking about it was a comedian, and when his dad had passed away, one of his friends messaged him and said, was offering condolences and stuff, and he's like, so and so told me that that you killed him. You killed my dad.
What?
And so but being humorous, being funny. So then this guy then responds with, "Yeah, I did. Sorry about that." And then sadly, but then 2 weeks later, the guy's mum passed away. But then the guy then, whose mum had just passed away, who was obviously sad and upset, then texts a friend again and says, "You've done it again. Now you've gone for my mum."
Oh my God.
So then another friend then says, then the friend then messages him back and says, "Yeah, what's your sister's address?" And then the guy then comes back and says to him, "Make it look like an accident." But, so this is my point, is that everybody has a different way of dealing with things. So sometimes people, and he said, the guy whose family had passed away, and it was obviously he was upset, and it was a tragedy and it was awful. But he said that really helped him because his friends that knew him really well knew that they could go that far with him and say that thing, because that made him feel, And he did his crying, but he also did his laughing as well. And knowing that his dad would have found it funny. And that was
But that's saying something so wrong that it makes you laugh. And a little bit like Tom and Jerry's violence, I always think. That it's so violent that children can watch it because it becomes silly.
It's silly,
innit, you know? You mentioned someone else's podcast. I spoke to
was something in
Victoria
another country,
as she
by the
left
way.
your party. And you know what she said to me? She went, "I'm going to go listen to your podcast when I get home." I said, "All right." And she went, "Yeah, I'll come on it." And I went, "We don't have guests."
There's no guests on it.
We don't have guests, Victoria. And you know what she was...
You can send a question in.
But she said,
We might
she
just
said,
put it in the
because I always think she's really funny. She went, "Well, I'll come on as a friend then." I went, "Yeah, you can come on as a friend." She's really funny, isn't she?
Bless her. What was the question?
Oh, yeah. What
Music at your funeral. Okay.
What would you have then?
Don't know. I can't think. Something fun. I think you guys have hit the nail on the head there. It has to be something.
I never
upbeat
thought of
and
that
joyous.
really.
No.
But
I've
I
never
think
thought about
because
it just now.
I remember
Or
years
you just
ago.
go the other way, like you said, just have something really sad so everyone's just bawling their eyes out.
Yeah.
Yes, cry over me.
Yeah. Love
Yes,
me,
I'm not here
cry for
anymore.
me.
Everyone be sad. Forever.
Your lives will never be the same again without me in it.
Look, you lost me.
Tubular bells from Exorcist. In a church. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's Omen.
Yeah, the Omen.
Oh my God.
That would be funny.
We should have that one.
No, you want upbeat, don't you?
Definitely.
Fun time.
I always thought that when ages ago, when that song from Coldplay came out, "Fix You," I thought, this would be mine. But that is quite. You definitely should go with something a bit up tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to make it sadder than it is, do you?
I know.
Make everyone feel bad like you do.
I'm kind of going down that route now. I'm quite liking that.
You will miss me.
You will.
I'll never feel the same.
Welcome back to Unlikely Friends. Should we go straight in?
Yes,
go
let's
straight
do
in.
another one.
Straight
Get in,
into the
mate.
pineapple.
Shall I pick one?
Yeah.
All right.
And say who it's from.
All right. It says, read your last text from Benjamin Button.
Oh.
Oh. What, the real Benjamin Button?
Well,
Brad
you watched
Pitt?
this film?
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Wow.
AKA Brad Pitt
Brad
says there.
Pitt,
Look.
listen.
Can't be real.
Read
Brad
your
Pitt.
last text. Oh no,
I
that's
love
scary,
that
isn't
Brad
it?
Pitt listens.
I'm really scared now.
I am. Because I've been
Scary.
doing business.
Oh, have you?
Right, is your
Wait, no, I'm not doing it for that.
What does last text mean though? Because I haven't opened any of them. What does it mean? The top one, the one at the top.
What is your last
my
one?
last one is from you. Babe, can you please call me when you can? Thank you.
See, even I have to get him to call me. He doesn't
Because
answer
I
the
didn't
phone.
answer her.
Mine says balloons coming in a sec. Hopefully someone can get the door because we're recording this. And it's our child's birthday.
Mine is actually from Louis Spence.
Oh, is it?
And he sent a little picture because obviously at my little birthday thing, I said no pictures. And he's just messaged me saying, "Can I please put this picture of me and you on Instagram?"
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
Let's have a look at the
sweet.
picture.
Let's have a look. Oh,
Yeah, nice.
cute. Yeah, that passes.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
We're allowed.
That's a
Yeah.
nice picture.
He's allowed.
beautiful.
Mine's a text to David Dickinson. Because
It's not.
It's
Really?
When I was doing the school run this morning, he phoned me.
David Dickinson phoned you?
Yeah, and I thought I can't talk to the kids and drive and talk to David Dickinson at the same
Is
time.
that David Dickinson who does the...
Antiques,
Yeah.
David
Rock
Dickinson. Why is David Dickinson messaging
I
you?
don't know, but Matilda was going, David Dickinson? I went, yeah, it's David Dick, because it comes up on the screen. And she went, what, from television? I went, yeah, remember when I was on telly? I know him. And then she was going, is he all right with you when you do him? And I went, yeah, he's a lovely fella. Anyway, I didn't answer it because I was dealing with kids and driving at the same time. You know I'm not a driver.
You're not a multitasker either.
And so I just texted him back and just said, hiya, David, just missed your call. Hope all's well, Lee.
Nice.
Oh, that was you messaging him.
In back, yeah.
So you don't know what he wanted?
I don't know what he wanted.
Oh, intrigued.
Yeah, but I have texted him in the past and he's not replied, so I didn't know it was his actual number. I thought he just missed a note or something, or I had.
I'll give you a fake
And
number.
but he was phoning this morning.
Maybe it's just he's rang you by accident.
A butt dial.
Down there, didn't he? One of his jingly jangly chains might have knocked his.
Does he wear jewellery? Does he wear
Yeah, he
jewellery?
wears jewellery. Doesn't he wear sovereign rings?
And you've texted
Does
him
he?
now and he's going, why is Lee
Why is he calling me? Hello, bugger.
Right, should we do another topic?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go again. Someone else want to pick one? Go on.
Yeah, I haven't done one yet.
Yeah, go on.
Jill, your mum says, why do we hold these big microphones when we're doing the podcast?
So people can hear us?
There's your answer, Marion.
Who's Marion?
This is it says
Mazza.
Parenthood from Claire Taylor in Barnet.
Barnet.
Not far from us. Thank you, Claire Barnet.
Parenthood.
I'm about to call her
Barnet.
Claire Barnet.
Claire Barnett.
Parenthood.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
What was the question? I wasn't listening.
Oh.
Sorry.
Parenthood.
So-
This
Topic.
is Parenthood.
Yeah,
Parenthood.
from Claire.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Difficult times, isn't it? Well, you have waves, don't you? Of when it's easy, then it gets hard, then it gets easy. And I think I was talking to someone at your birthday who has a child who was concerned with how difficult it is having little. And I think I ruined the dreams, and I went, it doesn't get any easier.
Maybe you were the wrong person to talk to about that.
Oh, and then you sit there, go, and I mean, I love our kids, obviously, but sometimes you go, wonder why I had kids. Wonder why.
You're always saying how thrilled you are with having kids, and it's
because,
nice.
because I'm not speaking for anyone else.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Because
say.
no, I think I
I only said it because we have to.
that.
no, but I mean to make your life fuller in every way.
Absolutely, yeah.
You have, and for people who don't have kids, though, I'm not saying that their life is not full.
Yes.
I'm talking about me. I wanted kids in my life so I can experience the fullness of all the ways.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep, totally.
And some people don't want to experience that, but I guess I did want to. Otherwise,
or they feel fulfilled in many other ways
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
don't.
they do. They don't need it.
No,
Some of them.
Yeah, I've loved it because I've said it before, but I've always wanted to have children. So I feel very just very lucky that I've had children but all the stages are so different, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
So I absolutely loved baby. I loved that whole, holding them, feeding them. I really enjoyed it. But then every stage I felt like I got more nervous and nervous. Yeah. Now, people with obviously young children are saying, wow, they're now walking and that's scary. And it is. It's such a worrying time. But I feel like I'm getting even more worried, when they start driving. I mean, that pushed me over the edge.
Yeah.
It's just so nerve-wracking to think that your child is now out in the world in a car.
More risk.
Yeah.
More risk. But I think
I was talking about that
got
this
to
morning
allow them
about
have
driving because Matilda's 17 this week.
Oh, so
And then
she
she
can
was
start
going,
doing her lessons, can't she?
well, she was saying, why does everyone want to drive when they're 17? Why? And I said, why does your mum want you to drive? I don't want you to drive because I don't want to be scared.
I know.
And it's it's more risk, more worry.
But you just have to give them that independence,
Yeah.
don't you? You have to.
Yeah.
And if they're sensible and safe, and I believe that Bo actually, thank goodness, is that
Yeah, he is,
child
yeah.
who doesn't
I
really
think that's
take
where
those
we have
risks.
the yin and yang because you worry so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. You have to let them grow and make their own mistakes. But like, I do get it. The driving thing is a bit of a worry.
Well, how else are they going to get to IKEA is my question. Because me and Leigh didn't learn how to drive until I was 29 and Leigh was 34 or 35.
35.
And I remember having to needing to go, just think, I need to go to IKEA. And neither of us could drive. And I can't get any money. And so we would just have to ask friends, will you take us to IKEA? So I just think they need to learn how to drive so they can go to IKEA.
Yeah.
Be self-sufficient.
Did we get the bus to IKEA once and then got on the bus with things?
With massive boxes.
When we first moved to London, we lived in South East, in New Cross, and I think IKEA was still quite new. That's 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
And so the one that I went to was in Croydon, I think.
Yeah.
And so it was literally
That's a
like
schlep from
trains, buses, that and that. And when you go in there, obviously you're like, oh, I want to get.
Yeah.
And then and I think I just had two massive bags, them plastic bags you have to buy that, and I was just some frigging cow.
You bought loads of shit and walked out and went, how am I going to get this home?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like that.
A bread bin,
Like a donkey.
stool. That's all. So when Jill moved out of London, I got a flat. And I said, don't come down until I've got a flat. And then got a flat. I said, come down. She came down.
Who got you that flat?
Keith Lemon's sister, Caroline Lemon, got me a sister. She went on a date with the guy who owned the complex of flats.
Oh, my goodness.
Just to get me a flat.
She did. She liked him anyway. She did like him.
Well, I said, will you ask him if he can get me a flat? Because I was sleeping
just
on
put a
the
word
floor
in.
when I first came to
Put a
London.
word in.
But once I got a flat, I said to Jill, come down. And I had a lamp and a sleeping bag.
And a picture.
And nothing else.
And a little picture was.
And a little picture of us.
Oh.
And nothing else.
That's so sweet.
And I'm like, I ain't moving in that flat.
I wouldn't have
till
come
there's
down.
furniture in
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
The furniture had
fridge.
not arrived, had it? Not arrived.
No.
Can you remember that first night
I
you
do
came
remember 'cause
down?
it was a furnished flat, wasn't it? But there was no furniture
It was
in it.
furnished
It was
flat with
supposed to
no
be a
furniture.
furnished
It's not
flat.
turned up all
There was
the
no furniture in
furniture.
it. And we're like, oh,
It
shit.
was only a
there's
few
no
days, wasn't
bloody
it?
bed.
I think just a few days
Yeah.
before it turned up. But yeah, both of us in a sleeping bag on the floor with a lamp that went on the top of a can. You put it on a Coke can, and that's how it stayed up.
That's quite cute, though. I like that.
That's
I like it. I guess I didn't like it then.
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
looking back, I'm glad all the
Some memory.
gradual
All the things,
stages.
Yeah.
And it's talking about parenthood. God knows what my mum must have thought. Well, I guess your mum was worried when we moved down to
my mum
London,
was
isn't she?
worried sick. It was that London. You're going to
That London.
You're going to get murdered.
London.
London?
I know,
Yeah.
move down.
But I think with parenthood, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because I think every stage is frightening, as you said, because I think you have your babies first of all, and you think, oh shit, I'm the only one. I'm so responsible for
Yeah.
this person, and then you think, oh, I can't wait till they can walk, or I can't wait till they can go to nursery, and you get beside. But the older they get, the more away from you they go as well, because they're
Yeah.
getting more and more
Yeah.
independent and that.
Yeah.
And so the worries are there all the time, but they're just different.
change, yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
different when they're babies. Different when they're middle, different when they're older. I don't know what middle means.
Yeah,
older
yeah.
than baby. Older than baby. And it just, the worry just changes.
Yeah.
But again, people who don't have children, what they don't know is when you do have children, you realise that the world is not just about you.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
up until then, really, it's about you. You decide.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
then suddenly it isn't about you.
Yeah.
And so your outlook on the world is different then. Isn't
Well,
it? Do you know
my
what I mean?
first thought always is my kids. So
Yeah.
whatever happens, I'm like, my first thought is the children. Okay,
Yeah.
what do they need to do? What do I need
Yeah.
to think about them first? So, yeah, but they are wonderful. I'm so pleased because we have got very open kids, and we talk about everything. And I think that's the one thing that I really feel pleased about, because I think that would be hard if they weren't.
Yeah.
They're my favourite people as well.
Yeah.
I like hanging
Yeah,
out
I
with them.
love them.
Yeah.
I like our
Yeah, they're our
holidays.
mates, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's what
like
happens.
hanging
The
out
older
with
they
them.
get, right, they become... You become not less of a parent, but you do. You
Yeah.
become less of a parent and more of a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once they turn
Right.
18 and they can go to the pub with you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't
But I
it?
think the thing is, they do
Or
drive
when they
you mad.
drive, they can drive us to the pub.
Yeah.
Hold on, but I thought that when Bo started driving, I thought, great, I've got someone to pop to the shops for me.
Yeah. That's what we thought,
Yeah,
right? That's
it
the
doesn't
reason
happen.
why we let him.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous to ask him, will you give me a lift?
Yeah, he did at first. He'd be really happy to. Now
Yeah.
he's like, oh, can't be bothered. I've got a flat tire.
Yeah, kids are
I've got no
different.
petrol.
They're different nowadays, kids. I remember when I passed my test, I could not wait to drive. I just used to drive everywhere.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was.
How
I was
old are
like-
you when
I
you
was
passed your
as
test?
soon as I could. I think I was 17.
Oh,
17.
wow.
Me too, yeah.
And I just drove everywhere. But as soon as Bo passed, I'm like, you want to pop around the shop for me? He's like, nah, can't be bothered. I'm like, what? These kids,
And he's
man.
he's still kind of get on the train to go into town, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Well, still, when I've been driving, when I get home, I always go, oh, made it. Made it.
Equally, maybe we didn't learn how to drive. Maybe we didn't learn how to drive because up north everything's closer.
Yeah, isn't
Whereas
it?
in London everything's really spread out. So it's probably a lot more useful to be able to drive if you live down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But because we lived,
Yeah, but you lot up north, when I used to travel up north, and they said it's round the corner. It's never just round the corner.
everything's
Like,
around the corner.
It's round the corner. It's not.
10
it's
minutes.
10 minutes. You like walk everywhere as well.
You do
don't
walk everywhere. Yeah, you
Like,
walk. We would do
If
walk
it's more
everywhere.
than like 5-minute walk, we get in a cab in London.
Remember when your kids were babies and they just learnt to sit up? The panic that they're going to fall over and just whack their head on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, when they first start
so
sitting up,
frightening.
Matilda used to slam down, didn't she, on her head?
She had,
You've got to surround them by cushions.
yeah.
That she used to. Well, she didn't walk or crawl or do any kind of movement whatsoever till 2 weeks after. I could put her on the floor, sit her in a position, and go away for 2 hours and come back. She's still in the same position. She didn't move anywhere. She didn't crawl.
You
she
didn't know, but
Any child support people,
I didn't do that.
she
No,
didn't
no,
do
I
that.
didn't do that.
She's
But she didn't
speaking
even-
metaphorically.
But she didn't even walk around furniture or anything like that. And then I remember, so when she did start walking, she would sort of, because she wasn't climbing anywhere or doing any of that business, she wouldn't bend her legs. So if she was falling, she literally would fall like a plank like that.
She would.
Just fall like that.
Yeah.
Walk around.
bless her.
Just fall over.
remember
But I remember
that.
when she started walking 2 weeks after her first birthday, I remember being in the kitchen and sat on the floor and then thinking she's going to be there an hour later. When I opened the fridge, closed the fridge door and I shit myself. She's just stood there.
Looking at
She
you like
just got up and started walking. I shit myself. She just stood there looking at me. Jesus Christ, she can walk. And then she just started, obviously, like stumbling around a bit. And then she just started walking.
Do you miss them as babies?
I love that kind of that toddler stage where they were cheeky and fun. You know, just I do. The
little
Do you know what it
voices.
is? It's the energy
Yeah.
I miss around the house when they're that age. There's an energy about them, isn't
Wildness
there?
and
Yeah, it's
fun
so.
and-
Do you
I
feel
love
like
that.
now that they're older, you think, oh, they don't love me as much?
No, I don't.
I do
No.
sometimes. I go, they won't love me. I remember when
I do miss the cuddles, like when they just jump and just sit there and just cuddle
Oh,
for
see,
hours.
I get loads of cuddles.
Yeah.
I do still. Not you don't as much.
No, I know. I
I
do miss
don't.
that.
I don't either.
I miss like having them on my shoulders. I used to
Yeah.
carry them
yes.
on my shoulders all the time.
Yeah.
You did.
Always on my
yeah.
shoulders. I miss that. Can't do that now.
I could probably get on their shoulders now. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember we used to put them in like the bumbo, the
Bumbo.
little seat
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
Sit them up.
Yeah, they were
that
That
cool.
little, until they could work it out to get out, and they just go
Yeah,
stiff
yeah.
like that to get out.
But what's that thing, isn't it? You know, when they're growing up, obviously you're trying to get them to bedtime, and it's a thing, isn't it, that you learn about, and then you're like, how do you get them to bed nice and
Yeah.
quiet and
The
routine, and now I was like trying to get them out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It
11
reverses,
o'clock.
doesn't it?
Come
Yeah.
on! It's so funny how
Dolly's
that
got
just,
one of those Alexa,
twists.
those little ball ones. That Alexa, that's just a little ball. Do you know that
Dot,
one?
is it a dot?
A dot. Is it a dot?
Right, yeah.
And this morning it was going off. I could hear it from our bedroom because she goes, I can't hear it.
She sleeps through it.
Yeah, and so I went into her bedroom and I just picked it up and just put it right next to her face. and then, can you hear it? What? Well, that was a nice discussion about parenthood.
Yeah, it
I
was.
didn't think I'd enjoy that as much because I'm not that grown up myself, you know what I mean?
It was fun.
It was nice,
It's
wasn't it?
always nice to talk about the kids, isn't it?
Lovely, isn't it?
See you next time.
Remember though,
Ta-ra.
if you want to send us a topic or a question, go to unlikelyfriends@global.com or follow us on the socials, Unlikely Pod Friends. Like and subscribe. Tell your mum, but don't bother telling the council.
Bye.
Unlikely friends, but friends to the end.